Hi, everybody. Hope you had a very, very nice Thanksgiving weekend. I'm Joe Firestone, here for Empowering Democracy. And my topic for this stream is what Elon Musk is really up to. That topic is taken from an article by Yanis Varoufakis. I thought it was really quite a brilliant article. We'll go over it. I'll analyze it. I'll comment on it. Then we'll move to another article that looks at Elon Musk from another perspective entirely. That's going to be a little different. Hello, Lana. Happy Monday to you. So let me share that first article. Oh, by the way, everybody, please share, like, and subscribe. And I should do a little sharing myself before I start with this. At least share my Facebook page. Okay, so here's the Yanis Varoufakis piece. If you don't know who he is, Yanis Varoufakis is, in my view, one of the world's outstanding economists. He was the finance minister of Greece when Syriza first took over the government. He tried his best to save Greece from austerity, a terrible period of austerity. He failed, in part because the government did not support him. And when that happened, he decided he could do no more. He resigned. He went back to the university, went back to his writing, started a movement known as DiEM25, whose purpose was to democratize the EU. He's been working on that for quite a long time, traveling the world, giving speeches. Very, very insightful economist. The title of this piece is Don't Be Fooled. This is what Elon Musk is really up to with Twitter. Okay, this was published by Project Syndicate and Common Dreams on November 25th, 2022. So it's a couple of days old. But I think this news is still very, very timely. Elon Musk had good reasons to feel unfulfilled enough to buy Twitter for $44 billion. He had pioneered online payments, upended the car industry, revolutionized space travel, and even experimented with ambitious brain-computer interfaces. His cutting-edge achievements, his cutting-edge technological feats, I should say, had made him the world's richest entrepreneur. Alas, neither his achievements nor his wealth granted him entry into the new ruling class of those harnessing the powers of cloud-based capital. Twitter offers Musk a chance to make amends. In other words, to become a part of the ruling class, the new ruling class of those harnessing the powers of cloud-based capital. Since capitalism's dawn, power stemmed from owning capital goods, steam engines, Bessemer furnaces, industrial robots, and so on. Today, it is cloud-based capital, or cloud capital in short, that grants its owners hitherto unimaginable powers. Consider Amazon, with its network of software, hardware, and warehouses, and its Alexa device sitting on our kitchen counter, interfacing directly with us. Who knows when it may start to interface with our brains. It constitutes a cloud-based system capable of probing our emotions more deeply than any advertiser ever could. Its tailor-made experiences exploit our biases to produce responses. Then it produces its own responses to our responses, to which we respond again, training the reinforcement learning algorithms which trigger another ripple of responses. Unlike old-fashioned terrestrial or analog capital, which boils down to produced means of manufacturing things consumers want, cloud capital functions as a produced means of modifying our behavior in line with its owners' interests. I'm going to repeat that because I think it's so very important. Unlike old-fashioned terrestrial or analog capital, which boils down to produced the means of manufacturing things consumers want, cloud capital functions as a produced means of modifying our behavior in line with its owner's interests. So the cloud capital is there as a constant, modifying our behavior, not in our interests, but in the owners of the cloud capital's interests. The same algorithm, running on the same labyrinth of server farms, optic fiber cables, and cell phone towers, performs multiple simultaneous miracles. Okay, now just in case you think this is a puff piece, okay, about Elon, it's not. It's just describing what exists in a particularly colorful way. Cloud Capital's first miracle is to get us to work for free to replenish and enhance its stock and productivity with every text, review, photo, or video that we create and upload using its interfaces. In this manner, Cloud Capital has turned millions of us into cloud serfs, unpaid producers, toiling the landlord's digital estates and believing, like peasants believed under feudalism, that our labor, creating and sharing our photos and opinions, is part of our capital. So, are we, by we I mean specifically Giannis and I, cloud serfs, toiling the landlord's digital estates and believing, like peasants believed under feudalism, that our labor is part of our character? I surely hope not. The second miracle is cloud capital's capacity to sell to us the object of the desires it has helped instill in us. Amazon, Alibaba, and their many e-commerce imitators in every country may look to the untrained eye like they are monopolized the markets, but they're nothing like a market, not even a hyper-capitalist type of digital market. Even in markets that are cornered by a single firm or person, people can interact reasonably freely. In contrast, once you enter a platform such as Amazon, the algorithm isolates you from every other buyer and feeds you exclusively the information its owners want you to have. Buyers cannot talk to each other, form associations, or otherwise organize to force a seller to reduce a price or improve quality. Sellers, too, are in a one-to-one relation with the algorithm and must pay its owner to complete a trade. Everything and everyone is intermediated, not by the disinterested invisible hand of the market, but by an invisible algorithm that works for one person or one company in what is essentially a cloud of fief. Maybe a cloud fiefdom? Well, either way. Musk is perhaps the only tech lord who had been watching the triumphant march of this new techno-feudalism helplessly from the sidelines. His Tesla car company uses the cloud cleverly to turn its cars into nodes on a digital network that generates big data and ties drivers to Musk's systems. His SpaceX rocket company and its flock of low-orbit satellites now littering our planet's periphery contributes significantly to the development of other moguls' cloud capital. But Musk, frustratingly for the business world's enfant terrible, he lacked a gateway to the gigantic rewards cloud capital can furnish. Until now, Twitter could be that missing gateway. So immediately after taking over and pronouncing himself Chief Twit, Musk affirmed his commitment to safeguarding Twitter as the, quote, public square, unquote, where anything and everything is debated. It was a smart tactic which successfully diverted the public's attention to an endless global debate about whether the world should trust its foremost short-form forum to a mogul with a history of playing fast and loose with the truth in that same forum. The liberal commentariat is fretting over Donald Trump's reinstatement. The left is agonizing over the rise of a tech-savvy version of Rupert Murdoch. Decent people of all views are deploring the terrible treatment of Twitter's employees, and Musk, he seems to be keeping his eyes on the ball. In a revealing tweet, he confessed his ambition to turn Twitter into an, quote, everything app, unquote. An everything app is, in my definition, nothing less than a gateway into cloud capital that allows its owner to modify consumer behavior, to extract free labor from users turned into cloud serfs, and last, but not least, to charge vendors a form of cloud rent to sell their wares. So far, Musk has not owned anything capable of evolving into an, quote, everything app, and had no way of creating one from scratch. Excuse me. For while he was busy working out how to make mass produced electric cars desirable and to profit from conquering outer space, Amazon, Google, Alibaba, Facebook, and Tencent's WeChat wrapping their tentacles firmly around platforms and interfaces with, quote, everything app, unquote, potential. Only one such interface was available for purchase. Musk's challenge now is to enhance Twitter's own cloud capital and hook it up to his existing big data network while constantly enriching that network with data collected by Tesla cars crisscrossing Earth's roads and countless satellites crisscrossing its skies. Assuming he can steady the nerves of Twitter's remaining workforce, his next task will be to eliminate bots and weed out trolls so that new Twitter knows and owns its users' identities. Now, isn't that last frightening? Totally frightening. So that new Twitter knows and owns its users' identity. Don't you look forward to being an owned identity? In a letter to advertisers, Musk correctly noted that irrelevant ads are spam, but relevant ones are content. In these techno-feudal times, this means that messages unable to modify behavior are spam, but those that sway what people think and do are the only content that matters. True power. As a private fief, Twitter could never be the world's public square. That was never the point. The pertinent question is whether it will grant its new owner secure membership in the new techno-feudal ruling class. Now, for those who care about our democracy, as I and I hope you certainly do, then the idea that we are enveloped in techno-feudal networks that will own our identities, own who we are, cause us to be serfs, working for nothing for the feudal lords, who will shape our very behavior. That totalitarian sort of image is very, very frightening. Yet, I think Giannis has put his finger on something that is very, very important, and that we must somehow overcome. The first way of overcoming it, of course, is to pass legislation that makes the techno lords pay for the data and the content that we generate. That would at least make them share the wealth that they are generating by extracting data and content from us. We need that kind of feedback loop in these techno-feudal networks so that we at least make them networks that we can partly own with the earnings we get from them. But the first point, or maybe not the first point, but the latest point that I want to make about this is that this perception of Giannis by Varoufakis, that we have a new feudalism here, and that we are the serfs, is very powerful. Because if it has a good measure of truth to it, which I believe it has, it is also a call to action for us to change this reality by constraining the techno-feudal lords into sharing the wealth they are generating based on our collective efforts. We need a share of that particular wealth. Let us move now to the second of the articles. Which looks at Elon in a more conventional, but still very useful way. This one was also from Common Dreams. By the way, the first one by Giannis was from Common Dreams, though originally from Project Syndicate. And this one is entitled The Not Very Smart Elon Musk. This is by Sam Pizzagatti. It appeared on November 26, 2022. And it came from Other Words. That was published in Common Dreams. A good day's work for a good day's pay. Should this age-old wisdom apply to overpaid CEO as well as their workers? A Delaware court will soon decide. A turn of events that must have the richest man in the known universe, Elon Musk, feeling more than a little bit uneasy. Delaware's little-known Court of Chancery normally provides business moguls a background where they can slug out their big-ticket differences, but the court also gives stockholders a chance to push back against, scroll down on me, to push back against the moguls, and one modest shareholder in the Musk empire has done just that. Shareholder Richard Tornetta, a former heavy metal drummer, filed suit in 2018 against the company's board for lavishing unnecessary billions upon Musk. Tornetta's challenge has ended up before the Chancery Court's Kathleen McCormick, a judge who's already demonstrated a distinct lack of patience with Muskian antics. Muskian antics, I like that. Just this past October, McCormick ruled against Musk, okay, in another case. She might well again. Musk's current Tesla CEO pay plan, notes CNN Business, gives Musk, quote, the largest compensation package for anyone on earth from a publicly traded company, unquote. Under the plan, the higher Tesla's share price goes, the more new Tesla shares Musk gets. Thanks to that connection, Musk's personal net worth now sits at $189 billion, the world's largest personal fortune. In 2018, the year Musk's Tesla pay deal went into effect, some 40 billionaires worldwide topped Elon on the Bloomberg billionaire charts. Back in 2018, major shareholder advisory firms recommended that Tesla shareholders reject the pay deal that Tesla's corporate board, a panel that included Musk's brother and assorted close pals, wanted to give Musk. And Musk himself, one advisory firm noted, already had plenty of incentive to work hard for Tesla's success. He owned 22% of Tesla's shares even before his new CEO pay deal. The week-long trial on Richard Tornetta's Delaware lawsuit against Musk and Tesla ended in November. Judge McCormick's decision in the case will likely come down sometime over the next 3 months. And McCormick's previous ruling against Musk came when the billionaire tried to back out of the deal he cut last spring to buy Twitter. After that ruling, Musk had to go ahead with the purchase. Now he's flailing about trying to make others pay the price for his impulsive takeover bid. He's already laid off half the Twitter workforce. So, here we have a case being made for the idea that Trump tried to back out of the deal. I'm not saying he didn't. What I'm saying is that the Varoufakis analysis indicates that in getting Twitter, he got something he really wanted, which was a way into the ranks of the techno billionaires who could act as though they were feudal lords ruling serfs working for them for nothing. And he'd wanted to get into that position for years, but could not make it. And so that now, like it or not, he is in that particular position. And we are all working for him, those of us who are on Twitter, for free. Okay, so if Judge McCormick rules against Musk once again, Musk will still walk away fantastically rich, but he won't walk away happy. His ongoing Twitter debacle and now the Tesla litigation have dealt his reputation for unparalleled business, quote, genius, unquote, a potentially fatal blow. Excuse me again. On the cross-examination in the Tesla case, for instance, Musk had to concede that he didn't come up with the original vision for Tesla himself, the claim he's been making for years. Musk turns out to be as flawed as the rest of us. The key difference, Musk has the power and wealth to make others pay for his mistakes. Musk has also benefited, unlike the rest of us, from billions in taxpayer subsidies, handouts to his electric car, solar panel, and space flight businesses, all, quote, long-shot startups, unquote, Los Angeles Times has detailed. gave his companies their secret sauce. Those subsidies launched Musk's unparalleled personal fortune. So, what can the rest of us do to prevent another, quote, brilliant, unquote, entrepreneur from building a fortune off the insights, labor, and tax dollars of others? We can only deny subsidies to companies that pay their top execs hundreds of times more than what they pay their workers. We can tax the rich at much higher rates. As I said before, we can make the companies pay us for our content and our data so that we have a share of the business. And we can put Elon Musk atop a rocket and send him off to where he has repeatedly announced he dearly wants to go, to Mars. Pack him off to Mars, where the air is thin, says Sam Pizzagatti. That was, I think, a clever piece. But meanwhile, what Musk is doing as he continues to run that company is to turn it into a fiefdom where others are making him very, very rich. So, let's see what comments you had. Hey, folks. Hello, Kay. Hi, Steve Go Start. Go Start says good vibes. Lana says hi, Kay and Steve. And Lana says Chief Twit. I like it. That was good, wasn't it? Go Start says the New York Times and 4 European news outlets called on the U.S. government to drop its charges against Julian Assange for obtaining and publishing classified diplomatic and military secrets. WTF? Question mark. I saw that this morning too. All I have to say about it is, what took them so long? What took them so long? They've been silent all this time, when obviously the case threatened their futures and their well-being. And they sat still and would not say a thing. Finally, they call on the government in favor of Assange. What happened? What made them come to their senses? Did their lawyers talk to them? I really wonder about what made them change their minds. Did they finally look in the mirror and practically melt with shame at the sheep that they have become? Kay says, hi, Steve. And Dolores says, hello, everyone. Kay says, hi, D. Everybody knows it's D. Lana says, hi, Dolores. And Dolores says, hi, Kay, Lana, and Steve. Steve says, hey, Kay and Ryan. And Ghost Star says, hi, around the world with Brandy and D. Oops, Joe. Lana says, you said Trump. I think you meant Musk. I did mean Musk. Thank you, Lana, for the correction. For the correction. Ghost Star says TDS. Probably. Kay says, both are twits, Lana. Laugh out loud. Yes, but the chief twit is now Musk. In some ways, I think Trump is a heyday. Though maybe Twitter can bring him back. I don't know. There are a lot of people who are leaving Twitter now. Lana says, agree, K. Okay, folks. Well, this was fun. But I think it's time to leave because my next one, if I'm not mistaken, is at 12:30 or 12:45. I can't remember. So goodbye to the morning stream. And I'll have an afternoon stream for you in not too long a time. And by the way, we're going to have a panel discussion tonight on empowering democracy. And we'll be talking about the guns and the connection of the guns to dump the corruption. So as Kay says, see you all later. Thank you, Kay. And Ghost Art says, Trump's Twitter account is back. He's not. Amazing. After all that complaining about his being banished, he's not going to come back? I guess he doesn't want to give Elon the power to banish him again. Anyway, folks, I'll see you later.